Hi, in this video we're going to look into Roman numeral analysis dealing with seventh chords. So if you haven't watched the first video where we talked about Roman numerals and triads, check that out first. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at Roman numerals with seventh chords. So in this video we're assuming that you already understand what seventh chords are, that you've watched some of the videos before this one, so you have a basis. If you don't understand some of the basics, feel free to go back and check out some of my other videos on those topics. So let's do this in basic Clef, just for a change here. So again, Roman numeral analysis takes into the account of the key signature. So key signature matters. So let's say, for example, I have two sharps, and let's say that I'm in the key of D major. Okay. If I notate my seventh chords here like such, okay, so this is building off the first scale degree. This will be a one chord. And if we analyze this one chord, we'll see that we have a major triad and that we have a major seventh. A major triad plus a major seventh makes a major seven chord. To notate this, I'm going to write superscript M and 7. So that's the proper notation. Notice I have a capital I, which stands for a major 1, okay? And I have a major 7. So the way we would say this is a major 7, one chord. Now let's take a look at a two chord, for example. I'll change colors. If we analyze this, E, G, B spells a minor triad. E to D spells a minor seventh. This means this will be lowercase 2 since it's minor, and because it's a minor 7, we just need a 7. Notice how I did not have to write a lowercase m, because the lowercase Roman numeral already tells us that information. So this is what we would call a minor 2-7 chord. Let's go on. Let's try another one. Let's do the 5 chord. Okay, so skipping ahead. 5 chord is going to be a C sharp E G. This is bass clef. A C sharp E makes a major triad. A to G makes a minor 7. So this is the major minor 7, otherwise known as the dominant 7 or just plain 7. In this case, I'm going to write capital 5, capital Roman numeral 5, indicating that it's, there's a major triad there, and I'm just going to add the 7. So we call this simply a 5-7 chord, a 5-7 chord. We wouldn't say major 5-7 because that would imply that there was a major 7th here. Just a 5-7 chord. Let's do one more here using the 7 chord, because this will give us C sharp E G for the triad, which is diminished. C sharp to B is a minor 7, which means this is a half diminished 7th chord. This is the 7th scale degree, so I'm going to write lowercase 7, Roman numeral 7. Then I'm going to draw my half diminished symbol, which is just the degree symbol with a slash through it, and then a 7, indicating that it is a 7th chord. And we would call this a half diminish 7 chord. Half diminish 7 chord. We don't have to say half diminish 7-7 because half diminish only exists with 7th chords. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense to you. So the verbiage does matter. Let's say that we had the 7 chord here again, but in this case we had a B flat and the C sharp here, okay, which would give us a diminished triad and a diminished seventh. Okay, in this case, we would have a fully diminished 7 chord. Fully diminished 7 chord. And the fully diminished indicates that it's a 7th chord. So that's how we look at root position. Now, the cool thing about Roman numerals is it contains the root of the chord in relation to the key. Okay? So if it's a 2 chord, you know that that's going to be the note E, since we're in the key of D. Okay? And then the second part of information is the figured bass. Figured bass is going to tell us if it's inverted or not. So let's look at an example of something that is inverted. If you need to review your figured bass symbols, you'll certainly want to do that, but I'm going to assume that you know them pretty well. So let's take, for example, let's do 3 flats. And in this case, let's go ahead and do this in minor, a minor form. So this means that this would be in C minor, C minor. And let's go ahead and do, how about this? Let's do this chord right here. Okay. So what's the first step? Step 1 is always to determine the root. Okay, so you're saying, all right, what is the root? And the root is A flat. Okay, that's pretty easy. I can even write my lead sheet symbol up here if I want, A flat. Next step is to put this in root position. Okay, so I put this in root position so I can analyze it. Then I'm going to analyze the triad and the 7th. My triad is A flat, C, E flat. A flat, C, E flat is a major triad. And my 7th, A flat to G, is a major 7th. So this is actually an A flat major 7 chord. A flat major 7 chord. So I have an A flat major 7. And now I need to determine which scale degree A flat is in the key of C minor. And if I just count it up, C, D, E, F, G, A, that's a 6 chord. So since it's major, I'm going to write capital Roman numeral 6. And it's a major 7, so I need superscript capital M. But I'm not going to write 7 here because it's inverted. And if I look at the inversion here, I can see this is a 4-2 inversion, otherwise known as a third inversion 7th chord. So I'm going to write major 4, 4-2. Okay, so this is the correct Roman numeral analysis for this chord. So this gives us a lot of helpful information. This tells us the chord function in the key of C minor, that this is a submediant function, the 6th chord submediant. It tells us this is a major 7 chord in third inversion, where the 7th is in the bass. So there's a lot of information here. If we compare the lead sheet symbol to the Roman numeral analysis, the only thing that the Roman numeral analysis adds is the relation to the key, the relation to the tonality. Okay? All right, so that's why it's helpful to know how to do both types of notation. Let's take another example. Okay. Let's mix it up a little bit. How about let's do a bunch of sharps this time. All right. So we're doing 6 sharps. And let's do this in a major key. So this would be the key of F sharp major. Okay. And let's try this. Let's do this. So my first step here is I need to determine the root. That's easy enough. Space, 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 line. This is my root, which is F sharp. Next step, I'm going to put this in root position. Easiest way I can do this is just move my root down to the bottom. And then I'm going to add my accidentals just to make sure I don't accidentally miss any. And in this case, everything is sharped. Then I'm going to analyze my triad. F sharp, A sharp, C sharp spells a major triad. F sharp to E sharp spells a major seventh. Then I'm going to figure out which scale degree F sharp is in the key of F sharp. Well, that's a 1 chord, isn't it? So here I'm just going to have a major 1, but I'm not going to write 7 because it's inverted. If I look here, we can see that this is the 6-5 inversion, which is first inversion, 7th chord, where the 3rd is in the bass. So this is a major 1, 6-5. So there is a brief little overview on how to go about conducting Roman numeral analysis of 7th chords, including figured bass. We're going to take a look at some of our in-class work in the next video, where I walk you through some of these, some more examples for more practice. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.